Geography of China. China's landscape is vast and diverse, ranging from the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts in the arid north to the subtropical forests in the wetter south. The Himalaya, Karakoram, Kamaran and Shan mountain ranges separate China from much of South and Central Asia. The Yangtze and Yellow Rivers, the third and sixth longest in the world, respectively, run from the Tibetan Plateau to the densely populated eastern seaboard. China's coastline along the Pacific Ocean is 14,500 kilometers, 9,000 miles, long and is bounded by the Bahe, Yellow, East China and South China Seas. China connects through the Kazakh border to the Eurasian steppe, which has been an artery of communication between East and West since the Neolithic, through the steppe route, the ancestor of the terrestrial Silk Road. Citation needed. The territory of China lies between latitudes 18 and 54 N and longitudes 73 and 135 E. The geographical center of China is marked by the center of the country monument at 3550 40.9 N 10327.7.5. China's landscapes vary significantly across its vast territory. In the east, along the shores of the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea, there are extensive and densely populated alluvial plains, while on the edges of the Inner Mongolian Plateau, in the north, broad grasslands predominate. Southern China is dominated by hills and low mountain ranges, while the Central East hosts the deltas of China's two major rivers, the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. Other major rivers include the Zai, Mekong, Brahmaputra and Amur. To the west sit major mountain ranges, most notably the Himalayas. High plateaus feature among the more arid landscapes of the north, such as the Taklamakan and the Gobi Desert. The world's highest point, Mount Everest, 8,848 m, lies on the Sino-Nepalese border. The country's lowest point, and the world's third lowest, is the dried lake bed of Aden Lake, 154 m, in the Turpan Depression. Climate. Great Green Wall, China, K10 Geiger Climate Classification Map, for mainland China. China's climate is mainly dominated by dry seasons and wet monsoons, which led to pronounced temperature differences between winter and summer. In the winter, northern winds coming from high latitude areas are cold and dry. In summer, southern winds from coastal areas at lower latitudes are warm and moist. A major environmental issue in China is the continued expansion of its deserts, particularly the Gobi Desert. Although barrier tree lines, planted since the 1970s, have reduced the frequency of sandstorms, prolonged drought and poor agricultural practices have resulted in dust storms plaguing northern China each spring, which then spread to other parts of East Asia, including Japan and Korea. China's environmental watchdog, SEPA, stated in 2007 that China is losing 4,000 kilometers to 1,500 square miles per year to desertification. Water quality, erosion, and pollution control have become important issues in China's relations with other countries. Melting glaciers in the Himalayas could potentially lead to water shortages for hundreds of millions of people. According to academics, in order to limit climate change in China to 1.5 C, 2.7 F, electricity generation from coal in China without carbon capture must be phased out by 2045. Official government statistics about Chinese agricultural productivity are considered unreliable due to exaggeration of production at subsidiary government levels. Much of China has a climate very suitable for agriculture, and the country has been the world's largest producer of rice, wheat, tomatoes, eggplant, grapes, watermelon, spinach, and many other crops. Biodiversity. Wildlife of China. A giant panda, China's most famous endangered and endemic species, at the Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding in Sichuan, China, is one of 17 megadiverse countries, lying in two of the world's major biogeographic realms, the Palearctic and the Indo-Malayan. By one measure, China has over 34,687 species of animals and vascular plants, making it the third most biodiverse country in the world after Brazil and Colombia. The country signed the Rio de Janeiro Convention on Biological Diversity on 11 June 1992 and became a party to the convention on 5 January 1993. It later produced a National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, with one revision that was received by the convention on 21 September 2010. China is home to at least 551 species of mammals, the third highest such number in the world, 1,221 species of birds, 8th, 424 species of reptiles, 7th, and 333 species of amphibians, 7th. Wildlife in China shares habitat with and bears acute pressure from the world's largest population of humans. At least 840 animal species are threatened, vulnerable, or in danger of local extinction in China, due mainly to human activities such as habitat destruction, pollution, and poaching for food, fur, and ingredients. For traditional Chinese medicine, endangered wildlife is protected by law, and as of 2005, the country has over 2,349 nature reserves, covering a total area of 149.95 million hectares, 15% of China's total land area. Better source needed. Most wild animals have been eliminated from the core agricultural regions of east and central China, but they have fared better in the mountainous south and west. The Beiji was confirmed extinct on 12 December 2006. China has over 32,000 species of vascular plants and is home to a variety of forest types. Cold coniferous forests predominate in the north of the country, supporting animal species such as moose and Asian black bear, along with over 120 bird species. The understory of moist conifer forests may contain thickets of bamboo. In higher mountain stands of juniper and yew, the bamboo is replaced by rhododendrons. Subtropical forests, which are predominant in central and southern China, support a high density of plant species including numerous rare endemics. Tropical and seasonal rainforests, though confined to Yunnan and Hainan Island, contain a quarter of all the animal and plant species found in China. China has over 10,000 recorded species of fungi, and of them, nearly 6,000 are higher fungi. Environment of China and environmental issues in China. Renewable energy in China, water resources of China, energy policy of China, and climate change in China. The Three Gorges Dam is the largest hydroelectric dam in the world. In the early 2000s, China has suffered from environmental deterioration and pollution due to its rapid pace of industrialization. While regulations such as the 1979 Environmental Protection Law are fairly stringent, they are poorly enforced, as they are frequently disregarded by local communities and government officials in favor of rapid economic development. China is the country with the second highest death toll because of air pollution after India. There are approximately 1 million deaths caused by exposure to ambient air pollution. Although China ranks as the highest CO2 emitting country in the world, it only emits 8 tons of CO2 per capita, significantly lower than developed countries such as the United States, 16.1, Australia, 16.8, and South Korea, 13.6. In recent years, China has clamped down on pollution. In March 2014, CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping declared war on pollution during the opening of the National People's Congress. After extensive debate lasting nearly 2 years, the parliament approved a new environmental law in April. The new law empowers environmental enforcement agencies with great punitive power and large fines for offenders, defines areas which require extra protection, and gives independent environmental groups more ability to operate in the country. In 2020, Chinese Communist Party General Secretary Xi Jinping announced that China aims to peak emissions before 2030 and go carbon neutral by 2060 in accordance with the Paris Climate Accord. According to Climate Action Tracker, if accomplished, it would lower the expected rise in global temperature by 0.2 to 0.3 degrees, the biggest single reduction ever estimated by the Climate Action Tracker. In September 2021, Xi Jinping announced that China will not build coal-fired power projects abroad. The decision can be pivotal in reducing emissions. The Belt and Road Initiative did not include financing such projects already in the first half of 2021. The country also had significant water pollution problems. 8.2% of China's rivers had been polluted by industrial and agricultural waste. In 2019, China had a 2018 Forest Landscape Integrity Index mean score of 7.14/10, ranking it 53rd globally out of 172 countries. In 2020, a sweeping law was passed by the Chinese government to protect the ecology of the Yangtze River. The new laws include strengthening ecological protection rules for hydropower projects along the river, banning chemical plants within 1 kilometer of the river, relocating polluting industries, severely restricting sand mining, as well as a complete fishing ban on all the natural waterways of the river, including all its major tributaries and lakes. China is also the world's leading investor in renewable energy and its commercialization, with $52 billion invested in 2011 alone. It is a major manufacturer of renewable energy technologies and invests heavily in local-scale renewable energy projects. By 2015, over 24% of China's energy was derived from renewable sources, while most notably from hydroelectric power. A total installed capacity of 197 GW makes China the largest hydroelectric power producer in the world. China also has the largest power capacity of installed solar photovoltaic system and wind power system in the world. Greenhouse gas emissions by China are the world's largest, as is renewable energy. In China, despite its emphasis on renewables, China remains deeply connected to global oil markets. Russia's single largest buyer, China takes in 20% of Russian oil exports, averaging 1.6 million barrels of crude oil per day in 2021. Political geography: borders of China, coastline of China, and territorial changes of the People's Republic of China. Map showing the territorial claims of the PRC. The People's Republic of China is the second largest country in the world by land area after Russia. China's total area is generally stated as being approximately 9,600,000 kilometers to 3,700,000 square miles. Specific area figures range from 9,572,900 kilometers to 3,696,100 square miles, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, to 9,596,961 kilometers to 3,705,407 square miles, according to the UN Demographic Yearbook and the CIA World Factbook. China has the longest combined land border in the world, measuring 22,117 kilometers, 13,743 miles, and its coastline covers approximately 14,500 kilometers, 9,000 miles, from the mouth of the Yalu River, Amnok River, to the Gulf of Tonkin. China borders 14 nations and extends across much of East Asia, bordering Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar, Burma in Southeast Asia, India, Bhutan, Nepal, Afghanistan, and Pakistan in South Asia, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan in Central Asia, and Russia, Mongolia, and North Korea in